Over the past 3 years, the Wrestleverse has continued to expand like never before. Sanctioned and unsanctioned fight leagues, wrestling promotions, underground fight clubs, and narrative correctors. The Wrestleverse continues to become ever more connected with each passing second, opening doors to dream matches fans never thought were possible. Now, fight promotions across the globe are allowing wrestlers to compete in competitive markets, creating a broader portfolio for the competitors and a hell of a lot of amazing fight cards for the Wrestleverse. This is a Wrestleverse Top 10.
What's up, fight fans? It's your boy T-John. You guys already know what it is, man. It's time for your Wrestleverse Top 10. So, man, there is a whole lot of stuff, man. Like, it's been crazy. I honestly thought that it's been kind of lackadaisical in terms of news, but I just got shut up, basically. There's a good amount of, like, juicy stuff. I'm not going to say it's a lot of news, but it's some juicy news. So let's just call it that. But let's get right into it, guys. Let's start out with number 10. All right, so Killer Kross and Scarlett actually got married earlier this year. So apparently, in April, like I said, this month, earlier in April, they traveled to Anchorage, Alaska to work the WrestlePro Alaska 3rd anniversary event. That took place actually April 9th. And apparently that wasn't the only thing that they did. They actually had a quiet little ceremony on a glacier all the way out there. Like, that's crazy. That is so crazy. And they actually took to Instagram, the both of them, to announce that they did elope on a glacier, which is pretty awesome. Like, you can't ask for a more like adventurous wedding than that. Like, that's really freaking dope. So of course that definitely makes the top 10 list, not only just because, you know, such a famous couple gets married, but also in the way that they did it. So congratulations to these two, and really dope, awesome way to get married. But let's just get right into number 9. All right, so you know there's always going to be probably some injury news whenever we do this. So Darius Martin is out with another injury. Now, if you don't know who Darius Martin is, he is with AEW and he's with Top Flight. And he just had come back from an injury. He had torn his ACL back in February 2021, and he didn't even reappear until March 2nd in 2022. And he and his brother, Dante Martin, only worked about 7 matches together for AEW, plus 1 match for Replica Lucha and 1 match for Warrior Wrestling. But now he's back on the shelf. So that's so unfortunate, man. It really sucks. Apparently it is a leg injury. I'm not sure if it's the ACL, but the fact that it is his leg and they're not saying anything, Martin hasn't said anything, AEW hasn't said anything. All we know is that it's a leg injury, and there's no time frame for his return. So, you know, prayers up to Martin, man. That really freaking sucks for him. Darius Martin, my heart goes out to you, bro. Like, that freaking sucks. And they actually had a match scheduled to face Brian Cage and KC Navarro at Saturday's Warrior Wrestling 11 event. But because of this injury now, they have to be replaced. So, yeah, it just really sucks, man. It's really unfortunate, but I mean, this is a sport. This is the name of the game. So hopefully, you know, they can get his leg back right again. I'm really hoping that it's not the same leg. That really freaking sucks, and that's painful as hell. So hopefully, you know, it's really not that, and he can recover and everything is good. But it's never really that good when they don't say what it is, because then there's a mental factor to it probably. So yeah, man, prayers out to Darius Martin. But with that being said, let's move right on to number 8. Yeah, man, we got a heel turn. So that's another thing. You can always count on me to when we're doing these top 10s. It's going to be some injuries, some character changes, some along those lines. And we definitely got that with Sammy Guevara going full heel. So he officially turned heel on Dynamite. He was accompanied by, his girl, Conti. Guevara addressed the fans that, they turned their backs on him and say that they were just all jealous of him being with his girlfriend, his hot girlfriend. And so now they have a new catchphrase, and they're saying "be mad." So kind of corny, but that when they go, F the crowd and F the fans, that's the heel turn. That's basically like heel turn 101. So while he's doing it, his promo gets cut short by none other than Dan Lambert, Ethan Page, and Scorpio Sky. And that led to, of course, a title bout being set for next week with Guevara and Sky going after that TNT championship in a ladder match. So that should be pretty fun to watch. These two, of course, have a history. They're pretty much rivals. Like, that's an understatement at this point. But it should be interesting to watch because, every time they fight, it's always a good one. So looking forward to that. And yeah, this has been a long time coming for Sammy. We've seen this heel turn coming for a while. It's just now finally etched in stone. He's been getting booed a whole lot. And especially after he beat Sky to become the 3-time TNT champion, that's when it was like all hell broke loose. So yeah, no, this is going to be a nice little heel run that he goes on. So I'm interested to see exactly how well he plays into it. But heels are fun, and they seem to be having a lot of fun. So I think Sammy's going to enjoy this. But, let's just get into number 7. All right, man, this one was this would have been big if it turned out differently. So Samoa Joe, right, had an interview, and they were asking him basically his thoughts on joining the Blackpool Combat Club. And that would be freaking amazing if he did, because look at this lineup that they have. Look at this stable. It's ridiculous. If Samoa Joe joined this, they would literally be unstoppable. They're damn near unstoppable now. But with Samoa Joe in there, it would be over with. But he actually went on to say he doesn't want to join them. He doesn't think that it would be a good fit, mainly because Samoa Joe is a loner. He then went on to even, kind of reiterate the fact that he only has a few more years left. He doesn't want to work that much longer in an in-ring role. He wants to take a step back and do backstage roles, something he was doing in the WWE, before he got released. So, he's open to anything in that regard, but, I don't want to see him take a backseat and not right now, but it would be nice. It would have been a dream. I'm gonna be honest. I think we could have all really been pulling for that kind of team up. Samoa Joe with the Blackpool Combat Club, ridiculous. But unfortunately, it'll only be a dream, so it sucks. But it definitely had to make the list, guys, because that's a huge talking point. That's a huge what if, because Samoa Joe is such a great wrestler, bro. So I had to bring that up there. But we got another real kind of controversial thing going on in number 6. So let's move right into it. Bro, I don't even know how to take this. This is actually like a head scratcher. It's big money. Don't get me wrong, but this is a head scratcher to me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me tell you. Pat McAfee is in talks with Amazon for an NFL gig. So this means that he is now going to be either splitting his time with, what he has going on with the WWE, his podcast, and now returning to doing commentating in the NFL. All like he's just going to be juggling all three. How is he going to do that? And he already has. He's made this huge amount of money being sponsored by FanDuel with his podcast. He has a multi-year contract with the WWE right now. So if he's inking this deal with a mega brand like Amazon, what does that mean for the WWE? Because I'm sure this is probably the least he's getting paid, and it probably takes the most time. So is this going to be a short stint that he has in the WWE? I know that this was a dream, but he literally did like the biggest thing that he possibly could ever do in the Wrestleverse. He had his like Make-A-Wish big dream moment, getting a win over a professional wrestler, getting a fight with Vince McMahon. It's probably gonna be his last in-ring fight, and then he took possibly the last stunner that we'll see from Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I mean, shit, is this the last time we're gonna see Pat? Like, what? I don't see why he, if it came down to it, he wouldn't, just leave. It sucks because he's such a great, colorful commentator, and he makes SmackDown more fun to watch. And I wish that they would just bring him on both sides because he's super funny. Like, he's a joy to watch. He makes the show better. But if they're not paying him, and Amazon's going to bring that bread, FanDuel already gave this man like $30 million a year. WWE's not paying him that much. I guarantee they're not paying that much. So, if anything, we're probably not going to see him much longer, guys. So, he's not even really saying anything either. He's just like, being real nonchalant and kind of silly about it. But until there's some like legit news, it just leaves us wondering, what is he going to do? But until we get some solid news, I'm just going to move on to another head scratcher with number 5. Man, so this dude is weird, and we all know it. You guys know what I'm talking about. Bray freaking Wyatt. I mean, this man is just doing the weirdest stuff, and I mean, it's on par for his character. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it, but all this cryptic stuff that's going on. He changed his name on Twitter. He's posting cryptic messages. He like moved his like picture or whatever. There's like a red circle under it. And so the photo, his picture is now like a one-eyed creature. It's super weird. And he just posted a bunch of weird stuff as well. But like I said, it's all on brand for what he's saying. So I'm going to just tell you guys a few of the tweets that he said. I do think it's true that he who makes a beast of himself gets rid of the pain of being a man. But if you become the machine, you don't have to feel at all. What if to be sentient? What does that even mean? What the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant? Like, that's literally how I felt reading it. I was like, what are you talking about? He put up this weird picture. Like, I don't know what's going on. What are you talking about? And what does this mean? Are you talking about, getting back in the ring? Are you talking about a movie that you're doing? Like, what is happening? No one knows. No one is getting clarity at all. And it's been like a year, more than a year probably, since we've seen him in the ring. So y'all tell me, what the hell did we just witness? What does that mean? I mean, like I said, it's all on par for who Bray Wyatt is. And of course, now we're all intrigued because everybody wants to know what the hell we just saw. But I don't know. There's no news. So I'm giving y'all head scratches, bro. You guys, go in the comments. Let me know, because I have no theories other than like, it's just Bray Wyatt being Bray Wyatt. Honestly, I don't want to stress over it too much, but I want you guys to stress over it for me. So I'm gonna have to put that up there. So let me know, guys, what you guys think. And until you guys get back to me on it, I'm moving on to number 4. All right, so this one is a kind of cool one. Giving props to the WWE. They're getting a bunch of awards right now, which is really cool. They picked up a really nice award from the 2022 Synopsis Sports Media Awards, which was held on Tuesday at the New York Athletic Club in New York City. So WWE and CBS Sports Social were both announced as winners of the award for overall social media excellence. I mean, y'all remember them ridiculous numbers that we told y'all about from WrestleMania. So if anyone was deserving of that award, it's definitely WWE. Say what you want, but they were blowing everybody out the water with like the amount of engagement they were getting alone from that event. So yeah, there's no surprise at all that there's a lot of social media awards. I wasn't even aware that there are such things as social media awards, but you got a few. So we have Synopsis, and we have the Shorty Awards, which is like specifically about like content creators and just like creators on social media. It was the first award show to honor like the best creators on social media. So from that, the WWE have actually been named a finalist in several of their categories. They won't have like an official like ceremony or whatever until about May when they like announce the winners. But their name, the WWE is finalist in a bunch of those categories. So props to the WWE, man. Like I said, what they did at WrestleMania was very impressive, to say the least. It was super impressive. So, I mean, this isn't really that surprising that they're getting now recognition for it. I haven't seen like the social media take off like that for them ever. And it's like we're all reflected in the numbers, the percentages of increases that they were getting in their engagement on Twitter alone is crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy. So again, man, props to them. Had to make the list. 100% had to make the list. But now we got some more solid news coming into number 3. So this is kind of a relief for me. The WWE has now like officially announced, I guess, that there is no plan to merge the brand split, which is kind of good because like you see in this picture, the bloodline looks like they're trying to merge it, but apparently that's not really what's going on. Yes, Roman Reigns sent his boys, the Usos, to try to take them championships from the Raw Tag Team Champs RK Bro, but it's looking like it's more so, that they're just gonna have both titles and I guess defend them separately, just like Roman Reigns is planning on doing with both of his titles. So there will still be a Raw and a SmackDown, which is really good news because I was definitely worried that it was not going to work out. I was like, how are they going to keep all the talent being able to work, get airtime if they're going to merge the brand? But they're not, so that's a relief. It's just going to add for a better story. Now you have everybody now gunning for Roman Reigns. That's a good story to have, so I'm interested to see how they're going to make this work now, because having the bloodline basically try to run everything WWE related, that could be good, that could be bad. Depends on how they work it. I really don't know. I don't see it going good though. I feel like the Usos definitely should not be holding the Raw Tag Team championships either. But knowing that that's probably how everybody feels, Vince McMahon probably already wrote that in. Just saying. So prepare yourselves for some frustration and some stress. But hopefully it all works out and we get some at least some entertainment out of it. But here's some pretty dope news at number 2. So we got some crazy stuff going on with Bret Hart. Like, there are 2 things that I have just learned that I'm just like, all right, this could be something. This was never on my radar. I never expected this to happen. So first off, Bret Hart was seen working with FTR. And so that's cool and all, but now there's also rumors that he signed a contract with WWE. What? Who expected that, right? So, as some of you know, I don't think everybody knows, but Bret Hart is actually going to be in the corner of FTR's match for the World Tag Team Champions. I mean, for the championship against. Lost my train of thought. Sorry. So Hart's said to be in the corner for the FTR for the big time wrestling promotion on June 10th, right? FTR is going against Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson. But there was one thing that got people thinking. This is on an indie promotion. Why didn't they do this for AEW? one of the big reasons that people are saying that it's because of Bret Hart getting a contract with the WWE, which stops him from having any presence in AEW. That checks out, because he can still work with indies if he stipulated that in his contract. But one thing that the WWE definitely won't allow is for him to show up in AEW and continue to work in WWE. So that's some pretty big news, bro. But unfortunately, if that's true, that means that he won't be present for the Owen Hart Foundation tag team, the tournament. Oh, that's a tag team. The Owen Hart Foundation tournament. But Owen Hart's wife will be there. And so Bret Hart actually went on record and said that AEW never even asked him to like be a part of it. But apparently, Owen Hart's wife and Bret Hart actually don't get along. So maybe that also had something to do with it. But I don't know, man. There's so much speculation in this story alone that it's hard to keep up with. But I would love to see Bret Hart back in the WWE in some capacity. That would be pretty effing cool. I think a lot of people would like that. But at the same time, what does it really mean? You know, because seeing him with FTR is awesome. So I don't really know, man. The amount of speculative reports that have come out in the past 24 hours has stressed me out. So let me stress you guys out right with me, because there's so many questions that need to be answered now, honestly. Because, I mean, what is the future for Bret Hart? What's he going to do? Who's he going to manage? He ain't fighting. He's made that very clear. And you can thank Goldberg for that. After everything that Bret said, it's clearly Goldberg's fault. But so what is it? What's his role going to be? What's he going to do? No idea, guys. But, you know, that's what we're all here for. We're all here to speculate on what the hell is going to happen next. But one thing that we can definitely look forward to is what Tony Khan finally announced. And that's our number one. So you guys know Tony Khan has been, you know, saving this huge announcement for like over a week. And he finally said it on AEW Dynamite. He's teaming up with NJPW. And they're going to have this huge super show later this summer, June 26th at the United Center in Chicago. And the show will be called The Forbidden Door. This is going to be so damn cool, bro. Like, this is going to be real wrestling. I know that this is going to be a monster event. And everybody should be excited for this. So props to Tony Khan. You may be a freaking imbecile in certain aspects, but this was a dope announcement. Like, he may have his moments, bro, you know, where, you know, he has us questioning what his thought process is, but this was a great announcement. And unfortunately for him, his announcement didn't go as planned, because Adam Cole actually interrupted his segment and made the announcement that he will be fighting Tomohiro Ishii at the Owen Hart Foundation's men's tournament qualifier. And Switchblade also interrupted, saying, you know, that the unifying of NJPW and AEW is just about the Undisputed Elite and the Bullet Club. So there's a lot going on, but I mean, this partnership is gonna be crazy because there's been so much stuff going on. I mean, it all started with this. If you didn't know, Jon Moxley going at it with Kenta. Like, there was already so much stuff going on between New Japan wrestlers and AEW wrestlers that this is just like finally the volcano blowing up, I guess you could say. Like, it's finally all coming to a head. So we got some dream matches that kind of were talked about on Twitter. Like, we had Bryan Danielson talking to some people. Because Kazuchika Okada, though, is the biggest thing that that's being like speculated on, because him and CM Punk actually had exchanged a bunch of words, because Kazuchika Okada basically publicly announced that he really wants to wrestle CM Punk. And CM Punk literally said in a tweet a while ago, sent him the address for the United Center and told him to see him there. So CM Punk kind of already had this spoiled, and we didn't even know it. He just was like, this is where I'm going to be. So does that mean that we're going to get that match? I really fucking hope so. And I think a lot of people are hoping so. If you don't know who he is, bro, go look him up before this match because it's going to be a banger. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. Like I said, there's a whole lot of stuff, but it's real juicy. There's a lot of meat on the bone. Like my boy Noah says, there's a lot of meat on the bone here. So we got a whole lot to speculate on until some more solid news comes out. But until then, guys, I'm going to leave y'all with a few more things to do. And of course it is to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Take It to the Ring. As always, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You know, I'm live tweeting SmackDown tonight. There's also Bellator happening tonight. I'll be talking about that on In the Mix. UFC is happening. GCW is happening. We got a whole lot of stuff. So stay tuned and, watch out because I'll be covering it. I will. And also, All Real Crew, unfortunately, not be doing it this Saturday. I know it's a heartbreaker, but my anniversary Sunday, I think Noah is out of town. Jamel's out of town. So this is the only time you're going to see it not happen on Saturday. And maybe they'll get together Sunday. I don't know. I think that we're excellent for this week. So next week will be a banger of an episode, though, just like last week's was. So stay tuned for that. But until next time, guys, it's your boy Tijon. As always, keep it real.